Video 1. Last year I went to Querétaro with my family for 4 days. The first day we went to Bernal and I got drunk with my father and my sister. When we wanted to return to the house, we got lost and in the end of the day we stayed in a motel. The second day we went to Birria San Jose to eat and we took an aspirin for the headache and we returned to the house to sleep all the day. The third day, my brother-in-law arrived into the house, and in the moment he arrives, I planned with my father to throw him to the pool, and when he was distracted, we threw him with all his things, his cell phone, his money, and his glasses. His cell phone still destroyed. After he got dry, we went to eat and we apologized about his cell phone and money. The fourth day we went to a water park and in the pool we took off my brother-in-law's swimming suits and he ran to the changing room and he got embarrassed because a family saw him naked. After that we returned to the house for all our things and we grabbed back to Coacalco.
Rules video number 1. Simple past. We use it to express completed action in the past at a specific time. For example, last night I went to the bed at 11 p.m. Past continuous. We use it to talk about actions that were in progress during a period of time in the past. I was doing my dinner at 10 o'clock last night. To describe two actions. The first one was in progress and the second one interrupted the first action. For example, I was listening music at home when I received an email. Tell an anecdote describing simultaneous action. For example, I was watching TV and my roommate was listening music.
Video 2. One of the 7 new wonders of the world we decide to talk about is the Roman Colosseum. Tourists come to Roma to visit one of the most spectacular places of the world, the Colosseum. It's easy to fall in love with this place because it has a rich history. As time went by, became a legend. People around the world come to see the ruins and to know a little bit of his culture. It's too hard to visit all the place in one day. Learning the history of the Coliseo is very exciting and interesting. You can imagine all the fightings and people who live there. Makes that people appreciate the culture and one of the wonders of the world. Visitors look forward to going back next year and to learning more about Italian people, their food, and other places, and also girls dream of having an Italian boyfriend. This is some information about the Coliseum, but it's better visiting in person than seeing in photos.
Purpose infinitive. Tourists come to Rome to visit the ancient ruins. In this case, we use the verb in infinitive with the purpose of doing an action. Eat plus to be plus adjective plus infinitive. It's easy to fall in love with this place. We use the pronoun and the verb to be as a subject because we will talk about something. The adjective to describe the subject and a verb in infinitive to describe the action of the subject. To plus adjective plus infinitive. In this case, we use to and the adjective as a subject and then use the infinitive to describe the action of the subject. It's too hard to visit all the places. Gerund as subject. In this case, the gerund is the subject. It's very simple. Learning the history of the Colosseum is very exciting. Adjective plus preposition plus gerund. In this case, the adjective is the subject, the preposition is the connection, and the gerund is the action of the subject. You can imagine all the fightings. Verb plus preposition plus gerund. In this case, the verb is the subject, and we use the preposition and the gerund as an action for the verb. Visitors look forward to going back next year. Have you ever imagined how will education be in 60 years? First of all, technology is going to be as important as today. Its fast-paced evolution environment will determine an important growth in educational systems. Corning developed a prototype lifestyle for the future, in which we can see how a day at school will be in a world with high technology glass gadgets. First of all, there's no reason to believe solar technology will not improve, where solar panels will be maintained power source at low cost and high efficiency. This way, schools will not only be energy independent but also energy provider. There will be glassboards in classrooms that will be able to establish an educational connection in order to communicate with each and every glass tablet on the classroom. This way, the learning process is going to be easier, funnier, and more dynamic. Classroom activities will be placed on large class tables where kids will be able to interact with the topic seen in class and explore their creativity while learning. This may be only a prototype lifestyle for education. However, if this is reached in a near future, education will change significantly.
Rules Video 3. Will to express a vocabulary action. Will often suggests that a speaker will do something voluntary. A voluntary action is one the speaker offers to do for someone else. Often we use will to respond to someone else's complaint or request for help. We also use will when we request that someone help us or volunteer to do something for us. Similarly, we use will not or won't when we refuse the voluntary do something. Be going to. Be going to express that something is a plan. It expresses the idea that a person intends to do something in the future. It does not matter wherever the plan is realistic or not. The future perfect the future perfect expresses the idea that something will occur before another action in the future. It can also show that something will happen before a specific time in the future. Future continuous. Future continuous has often have two different forms, will be going and be going to be doing. Unlike simple future forms, future continuous for are usually interactive.
Video 4. What is friendship? Friendship is when you have a person next to, knowing that things will not be easy and there will be difficult times, but the important thing is to know who will be by your side forever. We consider that our friends are the weirdest people of the world, but at the same time, the most incredible people. They convince you to make a lot of crazy things, but they always take care of each other. Friends are these people that make you happy when you think everything is wrong. They will arrange for you to go to the cinema and have a good time. A real friend will make you feel the most special person. We think that friendship is one of the most beautiful feelings and everybody needs a friend. We love our friends.
Persuasion verbs. Advice, cost, or convenience plus object plus infinitive. They convince you to make a lot of crazy things. Want verbs. Expect or need plus object plus infinitive. Consider or recognize plus object plus to be. A real friend will make you feel the most special person. Plan verbs. Arrange plus for plus object plus infinitive. They will arrange for you to go to the cinema and have a good time. Have, let, make plus object plus base form.
Video 5. Although Haiti and Dominican Republic share a piece of Iceland, it was Haiti the most damaged with the earthquake. Since Haiti is a very poor country, it has a weak infrastructure and people is just not prepared for this kind of events. Before anyone could notice, when people were working, a terrible 7 period magnitude earthquake arrived to Puerto Príncipe, capital of Haiti, leaving an estimate of 3 million citizens affected. The phenomenon took place on Tuesday, January 12, 2010, even though it was until January 24 that the aftershocks stopped, when the damage were counted about 100 dead to tell were registered. So the government of Haiti improves his anti-earthquake system to avoid this catastrophe occur again.
A clause is a group of words that includes a subject and a verb. That clause depends on a main sentence. An adverbial clause explains the why, where, or in what way something happened. An adverbial clause begins with a connection word. It's divided in four. The first one are the time clauses that are before, after, since, whenever, as soon as, until, while, when, during, as, in the sentence. Before any could notice, when people were working, a terrible 7.0 magnitude earthquake arrived to Puerto Príncipe, capital of Haiti. The second one are the reason clauses that are because and since, as in the sentence. Since Haiti is a very poor country, it has a weak infrastructure and people is just not prepared for this kind of events. The third one are the contrast clauses that are also and even though, as in the sentence, also Haiti and Dom Initia Republic share a piece of Iceland. It was Haiti the most damaged with the earthquake. And the fourth one are the purpose clauses that are so that, as in the sentence, so the government of Haiti improves his anti-earthquake system to avoid this catastrophe occur again.